Frederic, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, nice to be here. Thank you.
So we heard you talk about trends in luxury, the emergence of trends, what makes a trend sort of tick. So let us sort of apply that to the fabric business, because that's what you're doing now. So how do trends in global fabrics emerge? Who creates them?
Well, I'd like to think we create them. I'd like to think we are the driving force behind them. You know, things have changed. When we were wearing clothes 40, 50 years ago, it's not the same weights, it's not the same textures that we're wearing today. There's air conditioning in every single room that you go into. So fabric itself, in terms of it, has changed. In terms of the trends, I mean, we have to listen to the consumer. Of course we do. If the consumer says no more pinstripes, then there's no point in us making the pinstripe. But at the same time, as I mentioned in the conference, it's so important when you're at the top of your game, which we are. We've been doing fabric for 169 years. There is an expectation of you to lead it and to say, right, we believe it's this. Okay. Now, consumer-wise, later on, we might find out that we were on a completely wrong tangent, or no, it wasn't what we were thinking of. But people do expect us to come out with the ideas, with the concepts that may then become trends by the amount of people who accept them.
So basically function as tastemakers for the public.
Yes, exactly. To feel what's coming back, to feel what people would like to have, lighter weight, stronger colours, more subdued colours, and then to push it and drive it. And thereafter, as I say, you might get people who are grabbing onto it this season and absolutely not touching it the next season.
So what studies or, what kind of empirical research or data do you use to create your products?
Well, I think we have a great advantage. We can see it.
Okay.
If we were talking trends in tattoos, I think we'd find it difficult to know whether the trend is going up or not unless you spoke to the man who was creating the tattoo, because it's generally something that can often be hidden.
Right.
What we're looking at is it's visible. So obviously the amount of traveling all of our staff do, we get to see what is happening. Okay. We get to see what people are wearing, what is the here, and then from there we've got to kind of guesstimate, well, what do we think is going to come up? What do we think people are now going to want to look for? So we do a little bit of two things. We do what I call the very natural of just seeing what people are wearing day to day, and then we have a special what I call research and innovation team who are sent specifically to stores, sent specifically to different countries to sort of try and grasp a feeling of what these people would like to see. And because we work in seasons where we're very advanced, 6 months already before we're preparing the next collection, we've got to get it right, because 6 months something can change. So the more work we try and do prior is going to help us when in, as I say, 6 months' time things change, we've hit it on the head and it's the right.
So tell us, what are the trends right now? What's doing well in the fabric business?
Already the trend, I'd like to think the suit is coming back.
The suit? The
general aspect of dressing well and looking after yourself. I think if you look at the world, what it was in the 20s and the 30s, men used to spend a lot of time getting themselves done, really making an effort in the morning, making sure the cufflinks went with the watch, with the shirt, with the this, with the little... There was a wonderful effort. Today, if you were to take an average timing of how quick men dress, I'm guaranteeing you it's within probably 5 to 6 minutes. Okay. Which in a way is a shame, but this is what has changed. But at the same time, the Oscars in LA, what are people wearing at the Oscars in LA? They're wearing a black tie, generally speaking a tuxedo. Why? Because it is the smartest outfit that can express the person wearing it.
I believe that the retail sector, the sort of expansion in retail has been rather recent.
Yes, indeed so. Yes, very much so.
So do you feel that dilutes the sort of weight that, Dormeuil had as a luxury brand by going retail, or is it two completely distinctive operations?
It's two completely distinctive operations, but at the same time, there's a huge amount of history with one.
Okay.
So on the cloth side, there's over 169 years, where with the fashion, there's only around 5. So you can never wipe away 169 years of it, and it's not something we want to do either. What you have to therefore do is complement, because people will immediately go Dormeuil cloth within their mindset of equality. From there, you've got to build a ready-to-wear range that complements the understanding of what you are today. Eventually, in 10 to 15 years, you might be able to make swimming trunks, and you'll probably be known for that, maybe not cloth, but in the initial stages, you certainly have to make a collection that is cloth, suit, jacket, tie. Yeah, understood.
Okay.
So, for example, if we started making toweling robes, people would go, hang on, Dormeuil telling Rose, what are you doing?
You know, tell us about the most bizarre request you'd received and something that had to be done very quickly or was very difficult to accomplish.
I think it was, we'd spent a lot of time preparing. We'd been given the brief, and we spent a lot of time preparing it, and, you know, over nearly 6 weeks worth of work with the manufacturing side. Can we do it? Is it possible? Do we have it in stock? Do we not have it in stock? And we presented what we hoped, as you do, would be, A. And upon the entire presentation of goodness knows how many fabrics, he went, yeah, we'll have that one, and please can you mix it? And I thought, oh my Lord, here we go. With that one, I thought, oh good Lord, that's...
What do you mean mix it? Like,
well, he wanted the different colours. He wanted, you know, we'd sort of given an array of colours or something that we thought, listen, he's got to take it from here. There's, you know, it's like a flight. He can only get on this flight, sort of thing. Okay. And then he basically started mixing things up. He said that the air hostess should fly the plane, the captain should serve the drinks, and I thought, oh my Lord, you're really changing the philosophy of what we're doing. And as I say, it's the timing. It was feasible. Our designer was sweating and perspiring at the time of hearing this. But it was the timing, because they need to have it very quickly.
So when you say you launched in December 2010 in
yes.
India, what exactly does that mean?
We did three things. We launched our offices, because we've now become...
Where are they presently?
They're based in New Delhi.
Okay.
We were with a partner prior, and we decided to go on our own and really look after the market 100% ourselves. So we launched the operations of our offices. We also then launched a luxury cloth collection. We thought it was the right timing to sort of show India that, listen, you're wanting it, again, if you're demanding it, we're certainly going to feed you with it, here you are. And then we also did the fabric that was used in the world's most expensive suit that was created by Mr. Alexander Ramosu in London.
Okay.
So he unfortunately couldn't come to the event, so we launched it on his behalf. So we did 3 main launches, which was quite interesting.
Okay. And so do you have boutiques in Delhi that the designers can walk into, or is it sort of completely, you know, by appointment? How does it work?
We have an office and a showroom, so if we have new clients who like to come and see the collection, but generally speaking, we have people in the field who are going to the clients in the stores, presenting the collections, opening accounts, and doing it like that. So we're going to them.
Okay. So in your previous avatar in the construction business,
Indeed.
I believe you have lived in Delhi
very briefly,
for
but for 4 months as well.
So what, you know, how did your experience in India in that completely different field translate into, you know, setting up the fabric business here and expanding here?
Well, it was an interesting. I mean, I remember my previous chairman, Sir Anthony Bamford, saying, "Frederic, you must go to India." And it was I was a bit hesitant at first. India is quite far away. My mother was going, "Well, hang on, how often am I going to see you?" And we went and we gave it a go, and it was a wonderful experience. It was in Faridabad where they had their factory, and for them their business is only...
This was JCB.
This was JCB, excuse me, and their business is only but growing and growing, which is lovely to see. And then when I came into Dormeuil, my uncle said, well, you've been to India. Why don't you step back into India? And it makes sense to use the experience, even as little as it was, to go in and help. And, you know, at the time, India was quite slow for us. Our partners were there, and partners can be useful and can't be useful. You've got to be with your partners, supporting your partners, you know, really driving them forward. India's relaxed its laws recently in certain things, so which has permitted more control. And from there we've said, listen, let's go on our own and drive it forward, and it's moving forward very nicely within the capacity of India.